Um, hi, Rebecca Skinner here. Here's my presentation. Data presentation is policy. Visual display as aesthetics and public infrastructure. Let's see. Okay. Here is an August 18th presentation of the plume from the Woodward fire in Point Reyes, Marin County, north of San Francisco. And this was the beginning, in fact, of a major air quality crisis event, which drew immense attention to the subject of air quality. So while this is an enormous topic that the general public and not only the air quality community is concerned with, we should pay attention to that. Today we'll be discussing the status quo of data presentation, the lineage, shall I say. It's a very short lineage because it's been only a few years really, presenting some NAAQS and data visualization, then considering some novel forms of data presentation, some iconography for data and privacy governance of sensors, sensor instrumentation. This isn't online visualization. Considering why it matters, and urging us to think about air quality data as something that needs to be increasingly incorporated into public infrastructure. And here we have from February 23rd, 2020, the canonical AirNow AQI map of Southern California, including beautiful downtown Pasadena, where we are looking forward to ending up possibly in next April. Let's see. This is excellent. It breaks down criteria pollutant levels. Its technical accuracy is beyond reproach. But more recently, the AirNow has a new display which gives less detailed information in a format that anyone who's ever been behind the wheel of a car or has ever been inside a motor vehicle of any kind will recognize. The fuel gauge convention is very effective in communicating this data, and it's app friendly, and that is that these online forms of data presentation are the most common way to bring this information across to vast numbers of people. So this is excellent. And here's a purple air map. The clarity map is highly similar. Let's see. Purple air map again, I believe, of Southern California in probably February. In the upper right corner, the United Nations Urban Air Action Platform in cooperation with IQ Air, and in the right lower corner, Luftdaten's presentation, which I include because it's different. The colors are slightly different, and it has the tile map tile format, which is interesting. And I will also include here Ramble shares new presentation in which instead of the green you have a deep blue. In what would usually be yellow, you have a light blue for AQI levels, and beyond that, you use they're using a light yellow in what would be, I believe, orange or red. Urban emissions has this interesting data visualization for major cities India, including a time trend as well, and then habitat map in Brooklyn shows the itinerary of I believe a mobile sensor, probably on a bicycle, throughout parts of New York City. In all of these, data visualization is joined with technical precision in a way that is quite stunning. There are arguments that in addition to these accurate visual depictions, there is room for art and politics in air quality display. And in this case, we have a famous work of art called Particle Falls, in which a MET1 e-sampler outputs a reading of ambient PM 2.5, and that in turn is output to a projector, which shows this waterfall like motion in direct proportion to the concentration of particulate matter 2.5. In the upper right, you can see pollution pods, which is a conceptual art piece in Trondheim, Norway, and each of these geodesic domes is filled with air representing the ambient air mixing ratios of a major world city, and includes New Delhi, London, Sao Paulo, and Beijing. Okay, I remember this got a great deal of attention in, I believe it was 2018. Okay, and finally, in 2019, the piece called the Mutual Air Project at the San Francisco Exploratorium by Los Angeles-based artist Rostin Wu consists of wind chime bells, which emit sound with a measurement relative to particulate matter 2.5 pollution levels. And simpler than, but very effective than any of these art pieces is just putting up flags at schools to embody different levels of pollution. The Comité Civico del Val ongoing air quality project in the Imperial Valley in the southernmost part of California has been doing PM 2.5 measurements for a number of years, and their community outreach includes communicating pollution levels to kids through flags and other form of public announcement of air quality levels. And of course, we now have that, at least certainly in the San Francisco area, as the air quality is announced with the TV presentations, as a routine measure along with the weather. But they've been doing, in the Comité Civico del Val has been doing this for years and years and years. Okay, and one form of data presentation that has been active for I believe about 2 years is the Bay Area Regional Air Quality Messaging Toolkit, in which you get text messages according to air quality when there is anything other than excellent AQI, and it tells you to go to an emergency air filtration center if necessary, and discusses masks and other informational advisories. And this is just text messages, but it's very effective. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up that I haven't seen people discussing around the increasing numbers of deployed sensors and monitoring instrumentation is identification of the sensors. And the Sidewalk Labs has this proposed iconography called the Digital Transparency in the Public Realm Guidelines, which include identified sensor data, which can be pinpointed in blue, in yellow, and de-identified data in blue in the middle, and then a label to include why the sensor has been placed, for instance, by an agency, for planning, research and development, safety and security, waste management, health, emergency services, information, or ecology, and among other things such as light measurement, images, voice, or sound. It does include air monitoring. Okay. And this matters because we are going to see more sensors. We're going to see them as the typical infrastructure that we can expect from the world as we move forward amidst, I must say, climate emergency and public health emergencies. We'll see more sensors and information gathering and presentation. We need to have a clear manner in which the data is presented. We should have a clear manner in which the privacy concerns of sensors are presented. And we need to think about this sort of data as part of the typical infrastructure, the typical infrastructure for the new world, the way that hybrid buses are, the way that electrical vehicle charging stations are, the way that solar panels are, and good data presentation. And we have seen that there's a significant development of more and more thoughtful presentation is what we need now in reaction to the world as it is. Okay, here are some references, and I'd like to say thank you to the Air District, the Air Resources Board, Manylabs, Purple Air, Green Action, Ken McGarry, my colleague at San Francisco AQ, and to ASIC. Thank you very much.